Hello everyone, Sean Allison here. I am going to do a brief review of the Orcatorch underwater dive light, the D710. Orcatorch sent me this light, asked me to do a review on it. So we'll do a little unboxing here. Came in a little box here, Orcatorch D710 dive light. This light retails for about 160 bucks. Nice little hard case in here. Get rid of that. Nice hard little box. Kind of fancy. Orcatorch. Opening her up, we got the Orcatorch 710. This thing is aluminum anodized. This isn't plastic, this is actually aluminum. It's pretty lightweight, pretty small. Pretty big hands. Pretty small in my hands there. It does come with 2 rechargeable batteries. This does use the 21700, not the more common one that Orcatorch uses for some of their smaller lights. I'm not sure if that's proprietary to Orcatorch. I think it might be. 5,000 milliamps, 3.6 volts. All right, so I got the light, got my 2 batteries, have some spare O-rings. Show you guys on the light itself. It's just a single button here, single LED in there. This breaks apart right in the middle. Front half unscrews. This thing does come apart. Takes one of these batteries. One's just a spare, so it only takes 1 battery at a time. Comes with 3 O-rings. Makes a pretty good seal. This thing's waterproof to 150 meters, which is pretty darn deep. That's about 500 feet. It's way deeper than I'll ever go, but again, it does come with some spare O-rings for the light there. So make sure you don't unscrew this while you're underwater. All right, comes with the charging cord for the batteries. The batteries have a little slot here that'll plug in there. That'll simple USB little plug in there to charge it. It does have a little LED that lights up here once you plug it in. Kind of just lets you know where the battery's at while you're charging it, whether it's got a good enough charge yet or not. Pretty nice feature. Kind of like that. But let's see, we've got the warranty card. I'll be filling that out pretty soon. A simple wrist lanyard, kind of just rolled up there. A small little pamphlet with some of their other products. I do like these Orcatorches. Some different models on here. 720, 710. I have a couple of the 520s. This one's the D710 here. I have a couple of the 520s. They've been pretty good lights. I've never had any problems with them. Those are a little bit less lumens than this guy. This light, and then of course you have the owner's manual here. Tells you how many lumens it is, how to use it, things like that. But pretty simple, pretty basic. This one actually has several different settings. You starting off, you throw the battery in here. We'll see this outside the water here. But obviously it's always going to start in the off position. Right? We do one simple press, turns on. I got a green light, lets me know my battery's good to go. That's going to be high. That is going to be 1700 lumens. That's going to run for about an hour and 40 minutes. You got medium, which steps down a little bit to 800 lumens. That'll run for about 3 hours and 50 minutes. And of course, these run times are continuous run time. Assuming you're not off and on, you're just running it non-stop. That's how long it'll last. Then you have low, which is 400 lumens, which will last almost 8 hours, about 7 hours and 40 minutes. And then to off. From any of these light settings, if you hold the button down for half a second, you see it kind of brighten up and goes back to dim again. Holding that down for half a second and it brightens up, pushes it all the way up to 3000 lumens temporarily. Once you let go of the button, it drops back down to whatever the previous setting was before you held the button down. It says runtime is 1 minute at 3000 lumens. Doesn't look like a whole lot of increase in brightness. Notice a little bit more from the low setting there. But it says 1 minute. I don't know if that's because it just gets too hot and it automatically shuts itself down after 1 minute, or if it will actually run the battery dead in 1 minute. It seems a little short of a time frame, so I'm just assuming it's going to shut itself off after 1 minute. But that's kind of the unboxing. Pretty simple, real basic. Just a light, couple batteries, some spare O-rings, a wrist lanyard, and some paperwork. We'll get out here. I'm out here at Canyon Lake today. I'm going to prep the light up, and we're going to do a dive and get you guys some underwater footage, and we see what this guy, how this guy performs underwater. All right, let's get to the diving. All right, this little D710 ended up being a pretty good little underwater light. I'm here at Canyon Lake, lighting up a tree, couple of bluegill here. Light's in the high setting right now. Most of the time I used it underwater, I did use it in the high setting. Again, it's about 1700 lumens. I'll show an example here in a minute on this video of some of the lower settings. Most of the time I'm just swimming around pointing at stuff. I've got it in high. You see it's got a 6-degree beam on it, pretty narrow little beam, gives you a pretty bright little spot on whatever you're pointing it at. Down at about 70 feet, giving me quite a bit more light down here because it is a little bit darker. This light's really easy to carry around. It's very small, very light. You can kind of leave it dangling from your wrist and kind of actually forget it's there until you need it. Big debris pile here. Again, this is the high setting. That's helping bring some of that color back, helping me identify some of the debris that's in this pile here. A couple lawn chairs and whatnot. There's the medium setting, and I'm going to hold the button down. There's the turbo, that's 3000 lumens. And this will stay on this until I let go of the button, at which time it reverts back to the previous setting of medium. Big difference there. I really like that feature. Little flathead swam up to me. Flashlight's good for blinding fish. Make them swim right up to you. Big bass, couple big bass following that catfish around. Kind of followed him down to his hole. But you see him coming out, moving over to another hole now. Here you got the high setting. I'm going to cycle through them. That's high. This is going to be the medium setting. And then into the low setting, you barely tell the thing's on, and it cycles to off, and then repeats every time you push a button, just high, medium, low, off. Again, you hold the button down, just like I did here. It goes into turbo mode. It's really, really bright. The video here, it's got kind of a hot spot. The light is so bright, but much better in person than it is on the video here. But a great little light. Orcatorch D710, I do recommend it.